At Laredo College, we have completely reimagined education today and into the future. We are driven by creativity, innovation, and responsiveness. Through our Digital Connections television program, we will share the latest news and information from Laredo College. Enjoy the program.
Welcome to Laredo College Digital Connections. I'm Michael Gonzalez. Our intent with Digital Connections is to share with you the very latest news and information from Laredo College. On this edition of LCDC, we will discuss a topic on everyone's mind, the COVID-19 pandemic. Laredo College is home to the #1 nursing program in Texas, with a faculty that is both very experienced and knowledgeable. So, to help us in this discussion of COVID-19, we have on the program a member of the Laredo College nursing faculty, Dr. Manuel Gonzalez. Dr. Gonzalez, thanks for joining us on Digital Connections.
Thank you for having me.
What are some of the most common misconceptions or misinformation spread about COVID-19?
There are several myths in regards to the COVID-19 virus, this novel virus. The very first one has to do with the mindset that it only affects elderly population, and therefore healthy individuals and young patients are not vulnerable. However, we have seen that that is not the case. This novel virus can affect any age group. Another myth that is out there is that the virus only survives like 12 hours on a metal surface. However, health experts have clarified that point. It turns out that the virus can survive up to 72 hours on a metal surface and plastic. When it comes to cardboard, it can survive, it's viable up to 24 hours. Moving on to another myth is that there is a vaccine for this COVID-19 virus. However, the director for the National Institute for Allergy and Infectious Disease has estimated that it's going to take about 12 to 18 months to come up with a commercial vaccine. Another myth that has been rumored is that this virus does not survive in hot climate areas, but that is not true. Researchers have mentioned that this virus is viable in hot and humid climates. So these are the facts versus the myth of this COVID-19 virus.
What has the COVID-19 pandemic revealed regarding our national healthcare system and how we can continue to improve and appropriately fund healthcare organizations?
America was not prepared to handle this COVID-19 virus. In what way, in what terms? The lack of hospital capacity, the lack of enough healthcare personnel, the lack of testing. And these are just some of the things to take into consideration. So that is what this virus has provided more insight, especially to the health experts and to society, that we were not prepared for this type of pandemic.
Can we expect more similar outbreaks in the future? And if so, how can we prepare for them?
There are lessons to be learned from the current situation and the past. For example, the past, I'm referring to the Spanish flu. When in 1918, 1/3 of the population was killed from the swine flu. This type of COVID-19 that we're now facing in this unprecedented time helps us to better prepare for any kind of outbreak that may lie ahead. One of the things is that we have to look carefully at what other nations are doing to control the spread of the virus, and follow those policy measures, what has been implemented in place to confine or to slow the spread of the virus.
Does the clinical training given to LC Health Sciences students include preparation in dealing with health crises, such as the current pandemic?
Our program is providing extraordinary lessons at an extraordinary time when our students were expecting to be in a clinical setting. However, everything happened to change once the virus started to basically affect individuals, society here in the United States. We have transitioned to an online platform, and even then, that has provided access to students to learn more about this COVID-19 virus. And yes, to answer your question, our students are now, it will better prepare them as nurses and future nurses, because the first week we spent going over how this virus can be transmitted, the modes of transmission, who are the individuals most vulnerable, and what measures can be implemented to limit or to minimize the spread of this contagious virus. And we are continuing to work closely with the students with this online platform by having them research more about infectious disease.
How will this pandemic change the way health sciences students are trained?
When it comes to the local healthcare partners, Laredo College decided that it was in the best interest to have our students remain on an online platform. The purpose behind it was to conserve the vital personal protective equipment that healthcare personnel at the front line will require. However, our students, especially our second-year students, are just 2 weeks away from graduating. This will help the local healthcare partners to increase the manpower that is needed to hire our graduate nurses and actually continue to provide care, especially to patients that have been affected by the COVID-19 virus.
How is Laredo College collaborating with local health partners to assess the current situation, mitigate the spread of the virus, and assist local healthcare entities with our resources and personnel?
One of the ways our students Laredo College students can help the public is through education. They have the knowledge to share with other individuals, including family members, their own family members, on how to mitigate this virus, the spread of the virus. They understand that besides social distancing, the importance of hand washing measures, the importance of making sure that patients that have or present with symptoms need to be tested. And not only that, but also how to maintain a healthy immune system. This is what we are having our students do, educating other people, especially family members and the public, about how to mitigate the spread of the virus.
Do you believe the COVID-19 pandemic has underscored the need for more healthcare professionals?
Yes, this has stressed the need for more healthcare personnel to be available. The reason behind this is because nurses, doctors, first responders that have provided care to patients with COVID-19 have become patients themselves. And what happens is that the nurses have to actually be self-quarantine for 14 days. And that creates even a bigger gap on the nursing shortage that we are facing at this time. So our students will be able to help out our healthcare partners by seeking employment and securing employment in the areas most needed here locally.
There have been discussions around what changes to daily life will be made after this pandemic. For example, Dr. Anthony Fauci suggested that eliminating handshaking from our social customs would substantially help decrease the risk of spreading disease. What is your take on this?
I would say that a few years back, refusing to shake someone's hand would be considered rude or disrespectful. However, with this unprecedented time, that is becoming more of a norm. It is being acceptable as as people in social, let's say like especially around among other individuals, they realize how contagious this COVID-19 virus can be. So now, rather than a handshake, people just nod their heads or smile, and they're using other forms of communication, acknowledgement. But yes, the handshake is no longer practiced as often as we have seen it practiced. But that is, like I said, more than likely it's going to slowly find its way back once this COVID-19 virus has basically gone away.
Moving forward, what do you think COVID-19 should teach people about infectious diseases and healthcare in general?
That it should not be taken lightly. As mentioned earlier, Michael, there are lessons to be learned from the past. And as an example, in 1918, there were no vaccines, no cure. However, what was implemented back then is what is being implemented now. Closing businesses, social distancing, and making sure that people would self-quarantine as well. Those lessons are vital to the present time, because in order for us to be able to, for the human race to survive, we have to learn from the past and also learn from these lessons, in our current times, so that we can be able to know how to slow the spread of this virus, and like the health experts are saying, to flatten the curve.
Dr. Gonzalez, thank you for your insight on this topic that is on everybody's mind, and congratulations to you and everyone in the Laredo College Nursing Program for your ranking as the #1 nursing program in Texas. Keep up the good work.
Thank you for having me.
And that's all for this edition of Laredo College Digital Connections. I ask everyone to remember that together we are Laredo Strong. We are Laredo College Strong. See you next time.